What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So this is what I would see when I first started trading today. And just by the way, this gray line, this divides the yesterday's and today's session. So all the price action on the left side from this gray line is yesterday's price action, and to the right side is today's price action. So today started looking very clearly like a range day. On a smaller level, you can see the prices are moving up and down, back and forth, and on a bigger level as well, up, down, up. So it's clear that this is probably going to be some sort of range day. So the first thing you want to do is, as always, you want to try to find, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to try to find the key levels. So this is what I would do. I would just put these approximately here, and you can adjust them as the day goes. So now that I established that this is a range day, how you trade range days? Well, you buy the lows and you sell the highs. So when we bottomed out right here, I had to draw this trend line basically from these first two swings, and and this third swing confirmed the trend line. At this point, this trend line is confirmed that it is valid, and you got a nice two-legged pullback to the trend line and to the EMA. So basically two entry points right here. It is a second entry, but look at this, it is a horrible signal bar. Our entry bar is a big bearish red bar, and the prices just spiked up very quickly and didn't even give you a chance to enter. So you have to let this trade go without you. You cannot put your stop above this. This is horrible. Even though it is a key entry point, it is such a good setup. You really need to pay attention to your signal bar, and in this case it was really horrible. So you want to let it go without you. But this is looking rangy, so you want to you really want to be looking for buys now, because you're now coming from the lows, and we got a setup that confirmed again the trend line and the EMA right here. And this setup is actually very similar to the trade that I took in the video I actually filmed. Look at this, we're coming up and down. This seems like a range day, up, down, up. You have a trend line working higher, and it confirmed the trend line and EMA here. Same as here, we're working up and down. It is a trend line, back and up, and it's bouncing off the trend line and it is bouncing off the EMA. But me personally, I didn't take this trade. I was really hoping we might get one little more tick lower and trap them. So I was really hoping that please give me some little bit more trap here, a little bit more another setup, because the trend line now is working lower and there is no new break. But in this previous example, you can see that there is a trend line working lower and kind of attempt to make a new low. So this is why I took this. And also you have no overshoot here. Pay attention, you have no overshoot right here, but you have big overshoot right here. And if you have an overshoot, it will mean that the break is coming very soon. When you have an overshoot, when you see overshoot, you really pay attention, because the trend line might break. And sometimes you don't even get a retest of the trend line. Overshoots, sometimes you just go in the opposite direction just like that very quickly, and you might not even retest a new high. So I was really hesitant to take this, but you can see that technical analysis, the patterns repeat over and over. So once you learn to read the chart, you will actually get an edge, because to my eyes this is very similar pattern. This is as similar probably as it gets. The only reason here I took it because you don't have a overshoot right here, and the trade barely worked right here. I just scalped out 10 ticks barely, but you can see when I look at today's chart, the reason why I took that trade in the previous video, because just because I barely scalped out in the live video, it doesn't mean that it's not going to work in the future. As you can see, it worked in the future. So just because it's not working perfectly once doesn't mean the next time it's not going to work. 9 out of 10 times this is going to work. So this is a very good repeat pattern and very good similar pattern. But once again, you don't have a clear break, at least even an attempt. So I was really hoping for some sort of higher low here. Didn't get it, had to let it go without me. And you have a new low here, first entry short, pull back, second entry short, but you're far away from the EMA, so that's a no-no, and you're going long into this double top, so that's a no-no as well. So you have to let it go without you. There's nothing you can do about this point. And you have a break, new high, perfect price action rules, then you know, make a top right here. Once again, you don't have to be perfect. You will adjust these along the way as you go. You know, nothing is perfectly, you know, fits to the tick. You will have to adjust these. As soon as you're close, that's all that counts. And price is shut down through EMA, first entry, pull back, second entry. But this is a big bar and you're going short into this trend line. So this was actually the first trade of the day that I took, because I was waiting for a break and a new low, and the EMA rejected the prices big time. We actually spiked up higher and one swift move back down. This is a big reversal bar. This looks like a trap sort of. So it was a good entry, and you're still waiting for a new low. And this was the point where I actually took a look on the daily chart, because on the daily chart we sort of made a double top right here. And I guarantee you, you know, the bar was already forming bearish, and I guarantee you there will be a lot of people, you know, taking their profits. All the people that are, you know, going long here, they see this double top and they will take at least partial profits. Most of them, at least 90% traders, they will, you know, leave their position open, but most of them, they will take their partial profits. So I was kind of expecting today to be bearish from this point on. But you know, you still have to trade this as a range day, up and down. So you sell from the highs, you buy the lows. I was here a little bit in the middle of the trading range, but there is a clear trend line working lower, and I'm waiting for a new low. So you know, I have to follow the rules, I have to take it. And once again, you know, market bottomed out at the key entry point. No surprise here. You have to find this. You know, I'm not a favor. You know, I don't like picking tops just like that. I like to wait for higher lows at this point. But I guarantee you, if you know, one of you watching might be a little bit more experienced, you know, I definitely wouldn't mind if you are trading ranges like that. You're just, you know, there is a big chance you might get a big move up from this point. But we're waiting for higher lows. It's much higher probability and much, you know, better winning ratio. So we bounce right here, and I'm expecting prices to go higher, even though the bias on the daily chart is a little bit bearish. I'm still, you know, treating this as a range day. But you can see that as we work up higher, we have a break and a new high. There is not enough steam for bulls in the market. You know, and you have a first entry here, pull back, second entry, and it's a trap. I attempted to go short here, I got left behind. I put my limit order here, I got left behind. So this is where I re-entered, and this is where I took my second trade. We formed, you know, a double top right here, and at this point, once we broke lower like this, we didn't even make it to the middle of the trading range. You know, the bulls are so weak. You know, the daily boss is confirmed because the daily candle is bearish, and this is now confirmed. You know, at this point I was really believing that, you know, there is not enough bulls in the market, because, you know, there is a double, almost triple top right here in the middle of the trading range, and you know, we didn't even make it higher. We just snapped back in the lower. But unfortunately, you just have to watch. You know, I didn't have this trend line at that time. You just have to watch this go, because there are just first entries and you're going short at the very low of the day, and you cannot go short at the very low of the day, even if it's, you know, start looking like a trend, downtrend. The EMA is pointing down big time here, and yeah, at this point it was really, you are probably wondering why I wasn't looking for bounce up right here. Well, because we didn't even make it to the middle of the range day. We just have one big bearish leg down, little bit of the correction. This is like the final attempt by the bulls to push the market higher from the lows, and it got shut down big time. You know, 3 slaps on the hand right here, and we, you know, spiked down. So this area was the key that the bulls are not in the market, and we're going lower. Unfortunately, you have to let it watch it go. And this trade is pretty tricky, because even though it looks, I'm just gonna mark it right here, even though it looks, you can see that there is some beginning of trend line maybe forming. and the trend line got confirmed here. It is a second entry, it is a break and a new high. But you know, hindsight is always 2020. But when I was trading this live, you know, this kind of looks like a bottoming pattern. You got a double bottom right here, you spike through the EMA, and this still look kind of bullish. Look at the 3 big bullish bars. This is not enough bearish. At least if this was a little bit more bearish, but this, at this point I was feeling a little bit overdone. I was still expecting a little bit better correction, you know. So I don't think just because in hindsight it looks good, you know, maybe if you're a really good trader, because it is off the trend line, it is a second entry and break in a new high of a correction. Still, to me this looks like a bottoming pattern, and I was expecting a little bit more correction, a little bit more chopping down here. This was a better setup to enter. Unfortunately I missed this one, you know, I wasn't paying attention that much. I wanted to enter right here, but this bar was too big. Look at this bar, this is a gigantic bar. This is the lower high, and I like to take lower highs, but this bar is big and you have big stim right here, so you have to let it go without you. And I actually took this trade right here. I got trapped here because I was treating this as this new high, pull back, first entry, pull back, second entry. But I went short way too late. I should have went short here. The EMA now, look at the EMA is all the way down, it's pointing lower, and now it's going flat, going straight flat. It's starting to go through the middle of those bars. Still, I don't think, you know, it was a bad setup because it is a first entry, pullback, second entry. Still looking like a downtrend, and the daily bearish candle is bearish. The daily candle is bearish, excuse me. So never mind, I just got trapped here. It happens, and I actually re-entered right here. I thought for a second I was gonna get stopped out and I'm gonna have losers back to back because I entered and this is what instantly happened. But no, you know, it actually got my quick easy scalp. And the reason why I took it, because the EMA is holding so nicely. The EMA is holding bars like this, you know, it's really not letting bars to go lower. The EMA is holding so nicely here that I thought that we're gonna get a little bit more higher. But eventually the downtrend played out, this trend line is valid, and now, you know, you have a clear break and you're working to a new low, because price action rules work, you know, most of the time, 90%, 95% of the time, the trend lines will get retested. So and probably this is looking like, now looking back at it, a little bit trading range, and you got a failed break higher, lower higher right here, good setup to go short, and a first entry, second entry under the EMA. But you know, I'm not trading obviously because I'm making the video, but you know, just the downtrend is really obvious right now. The daily bar is bearish, so no surprise right here, we're going lower. But this is why you just, you know, have to switch the gears. First you need to trade it as a trading range. Whenever you see market going up and down like this, trading range rules. And when you see like this that the steam is, you know, steam is out from the bulls, from the one side, doesn't matter which side, you need to switch into, you know, downtrend or uptrend rules. So, and very important thing today, the repeat pattern looks phenomenal to me. I really think this actually is very good repeat pattern, because this is looking rangy as well. It's off the trend line, it's off the EMA. Just like here, it is off the trend line, it is off the EMA. Very similar setup. Unfortunately, you got overshoot, and generally the overshoots will be measured a lot of times as well. I don't think at this point, yeah, we didn't make it quite there, but just something for you to look after. But that was it for today. Yeah, nothing more to add up here. You know, just, you know, trading ranges, you know how to trade them, doesn't matter which market. I'm just using this particular market because this is what I like to trade, but every market is the same. Price action rules work in any market and any time frame. And here once again is the very important part. This is the most important part of the day. This part showed us that bulls are, you know, throwing the towel, and they are not in the market as strong as bears. So the daily boss was confirmed here. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up for today. Hopefully guys you enjoyed the video, and that's it. I see you soon guys. Safe trading, bye.